welcome to Elite Audio Facebook Live. It's always a bit daunting doing a live transmission. Everything you see previously has been edited by Grant's fair hand. I don't have the benefit of that this time round, so hopefully there'll be no bloopers or anything worse than a blooper that you can then make go viral on some other channel. Anyway, today we're going to be unboxing the amazing Revel Performa3 F206 loudspeakers. Now, these are part of the Performa3 range, which for a lot of manufacturers would be generally there's a higher end loudspeaker. These retail at £4,000. I'm going to quickly cut to the chase because we have a special offer on these at £1,799 with free pallet delivery in the UK, which is worth £150. Now, I'm going to quickly run through some of the key features. There's a fair bit here, but I'm going to make it as concise as possible, and then we shall get to the important part, which is actually unboxing a pair of these and letting you see them. So, some of the key highlights of these, I'm reading it from Revel's own specification, but I've heard these and they are amazing loudspeakers, and they sound every bit a £4,000 loudspeaker, and certainly something that's worthy of any addition to an audio setup. If you're looking to upgrade currently, this would make an excellent choice. The recommended power is between sort of 50 and 200 watts. People often get confused with that because they think they can't use more than 200 watts. You definitely can. It will simply give you more dynamic headroom than, say, a 50 watt or lesser amplifier would do. If you've got a decent 50 watt amplifier that has got good transformer setup to give you a decent current delivery, then 50 watts would be more than ample. They're 88 dB efficient, so they're not inefficient. They're relatively easy to drive, and it's an 8 ohm speaker with a pretty much flat impedance curve, so there's no real nasties there for your amplifier. Anyway, very quickly from Revel's own specification, they use low frequency and mid-range transducers that feature distortion reduction mechanisms that stabilise the flux field during operation. Now, when you mention the word flux, I always think immediately of the flux capacitor in Back to the Future. So whilst these may not take you back in time or forward in time, they will make back in time recordings sound really good, because when you get flux interference, what essentially is happening is the flux field of the magnet of the motor driver creates, I would say, inaccurate movements of the driver, hence you get distortion. So Revel very cleverly found a way to reduce that effect, and that's something that impacts on every loudspeaker, but with the Revel you will find the distortion levels are greatly reduced. They also use a very sophisticated port design where the, they're identical on both ends. What this does, it reduces port noise, and again, with a lot of loudspeakers that are ported, porting is a means to increase the bass levels. You're very aware that the sound's coming from the port. You can actually hear some of the port tuning. With the Revels, that does not happen. Also, by having front-firing ports, it actually improves where you can position these, so you're less restricted. You can put them in a corner up against the back wall, where perhaps a rear-ported design would not work. What else? The actual enclosures are very similar to the flagship Ultima 2 series. The cabinets are of an Italian luxury cabinet maker. They are really expensive cabinets, as you will see when we unbox them. They use advanced crossovers for accuracy. It's got a brand new tweeter, which is created around a newly designed motor and dome assembly. And that, as far as Revel are concerned, sets a new level of transparency in loudspeaker design. The one thing you'll find is they're never bright or harsh. The microdynamics and the detail are exceptional for a speaker of this class. So, all in all, this represents, I would suggest, very good value for money. So, if you want any more information, please give us a call. As I say, £4,000 retail, special offer price of £1,799, including delivery. So I'm going to dispense with it. Oh, sorry. Frequency range, they go down to 33 Hz. They are classed as a full range loudspeaker. I have tested these with and without subwoofer, and in most systems you will not need one subwoofer, that is. Right, let's get rid of this. And I'll ask Martin Black, who is our logistics manager, to present me with the Stanley 99E, so we can, without any further ado, thank you, Mr. Black. And he has also informed me prior to us going, Martin loves doing the camera. Before we go to Facebook Live, that we have got a brand new Stanley blade in here. Now, I know a lot of people think that I tend to talk a lot before I get into cutting the boxes open. If that's not your thing, make a cup of tea. By the time you come back, I'm sure I'll be on to the cut and opening part, so you have to watch this if you don't want to. And if you're not watching it live or watching the recording later, you can easily just fast forward right through the bits when I'm talking and get the bit where I actually cut the boxes open. Now, so these weigh around 20 kilograms each. Right, I'm just going to drop the speaker down so I can actually get into it. They are finished in piano black. And I have to say the finish on these, because there's also a special offer on the F208, which they retail at £5,400. You can get a pair of these for about £2,800. So they are a bit more expensive than the F206. If you're unfamiliar with Revel, Revel are part of the Harman group of companies, which also incorporates Mark Levinson. So this is effectively Mark Levinson, Harman, Arcam and so on. Now, if Grant was to come round, we are doing this live, it actually shows you how to unbox these. So first thing is we cut the box open, which we've done. Tip the box on its side, tip the box upside down, lift that off. That then gives us an inner carton, arrows pointing upwards. They obviously use a Stanley 99E because that looks like it cuts very easily. Front panel comes off, leaves the speaker, top carton off, and then we are left with a loudspeaker. Hopefully it will be that simple. So, retract the blade for safety. I'm going to tip this onto its side, down this way. Okay, now the next part might be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to do that there, and get my hand around the back here. So far so good. Right, we've now got the box in the prone position that Revel have recommended. Right, stage one completed. Now, I am looking for, so I assume, let's just check this very quickly. So that is the top of the speaker. And if I just quickly check, they recommend having the top, so you put the speaker right way up. So we're going to open them, turn them right this way. The packing, I've got to say, is exceptional. And whoa, that was slightly unexpected. Right, here we are. Can't laughing. Wouldn't be laughing if that falling apart. It's funny, the last pair I did of these open and showing that didn't happen. Anyway, but okay. Everyone's in one piece. Nobody got hurt or injured. So I'm just going to move this top cap for a second. Put this over here. The grill, now one thing actually in the specification of these, as I pull the remaining carton away, the grill is designed and it fits magnetically, which means that you don't have any cabinet protrusions that will spoil the aesthetic of the loudspeaker. The one thing that I dislike about a lot of speaker manufacturers is that they provide you a grill. If you remove that said grill, then you're left with some very ugly external prongs that make it look like you might have the grills on all the time. Audiophysic do something very similar. This is magnetic, this removes, and then a magnetic full grill goes on in its place. It just makes the aesthetic much, much nicer. Right, okay, so we have got a bung for the porting. If you want to reduce the bass, you can use one of these. I haven't come across a situation where I would think that would be necessary. Now, let me just see what we've got here. All right, okay. Fresh memory. So what I'm going to do is, you can see that what they've done, and again, you've got to commend them for this. The actual speaker itself is beautifully wrapped internally. Because piano black is such a high gloss finish, the last thing you want is anything rubbing against that surface in transit. It can cause very light surface scratching, which is, again, when you're spending this amount of money on a premium loudspeaker, you do not wish that to happen at all. One thing that's worthy of note actually with these, and I'm just going to manipulate them out this block carton. There you go. Right. Also in the bottom carton you'll find taped to the bottom is the spike set. They also come with a set of little cups. So if you are on a, oh, hang on, is that the cups there? Or are they the bits? No, sorry, big pan. So basically the spikes go in and you'll use the locking nuts along with the washers to fit the spikes. The standard set of M8 spikes, which is fairly industry standard for most loudspeakers. In general we use M8 spikes. I'm just going to remove the remainder of this cover for protection. You can actually get into the loudspeaker itself. I should just pull that. There you go. Right, so the main part has been removed. I'm going to leave this on simply because this is a brand new pair of speakers and also we want to be able to supply these to a customer. If you want to buy this pair that I have just unboxed, we will have this one pair only. You can have for £100 less. They've never been used, they've just had the box open so we could show you how to unbox them. You can get an idea. I mean, these are beautifully designed. I think they're a stunning loudspeaker. The cabinet is curved as well, which also reduces cabinet vibration, increases rigidity. The tweeter dispersion angle is designed to mimic that of the mid-range driver, so it means that you have a much wider sweet spot as far as listening is concerned. These are wonderful. At the back, you'll see the speaker terminals. It's simply, they're not bi-wireable, you can see there's two connections there. REVEL Performa3 F206. So this one pair available for $1,699, and it is only one pair. The box will be opened, you'll be able to check the serial number, which is off the box here, ending in 087. There we go. Facebook Live, not nerve-wracking at all. The REVEL Performa3 F206, retail £4,000, $1,799 is a special offer. This pair that I have just opened the box of one lucky person had these for £100 less. We'll still do free delivery, which is a UK pallet service. It's the safest way to ship a loudspeaker. It is fully insured. It normally would cost £150. We actually pay £125 plus VAT, which includes insurance, to ship these. But it is the best way to move such a beautiful loudspeaker. To give you an idea of scale, I'm just over 6 feet tall, so these are a relatively compact floor standard, I would say, but they give a great big sound. They go down to 33 Hz, and they are stunning, absolutely stunning. So there you go. That is us ending our Facebook Live transmission. Thank goodness, most of you are probably thinking the same. We do plan to hold more Facebook Live transmissions over the coming months, so please keep a lookout on our Facebook for announcements. One thing I would say, if you haven't done so already, please sign up for our newsletter. Now the reason I ask you to do that is that a lot of the special offers that we provide our clients generally go through our newsletter first, because we want to give newsletter subscribers the news of any special offers before we announce them anywhere else. Generally, the offers tend to get oversubscribed that way, so they don't always make the public domain. So unless you're a subscriber, you may miss out on something very special indeed. Very easy to sign up. You can do it from our website. Grant will no doubt, when this transmission is finished, put a link in the comments below that will take you straight to our newsletter sign up page, so you can do that as well, and that way you can always find out what's going on at Elite Audio. Anyway, Elite Audio would not be the same without you guys. I want to take a few minutes just to thank you personally for the support you've given our business over the years. It is honestly really appreciated. Everybody that works here acknowledges that we rely on you, our clients, as a business, and we're always eternally grateful for the loyalty and support that you give us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will look forward to talking to you again very soon.